Any doubts in the last sessions? Online students, can you hear me? Okay, today we are going to start advanced Java. We will start at 4 o'clock today since they have scheduled demo at 4. So we will start at 4. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can let me know. Yesterday we have seen about the inner classes, no? Okay. So I think I have shared the notes also. Please go through that. అందులో ఉంది మృదులా నెంబర్దే కదా చూసుకునే ఫోన్ 4 కని ఇచ్చారు కదా అందుకనే మామూలుగా 345 కదా అంటే లింక్ 4 అని పెట్టారు కదా అందుకని 4 కి స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే చెప్పండి సరిత ఏంటి డౌట్? ఓకే ఓకే. సో, ఈ డెమో సెషన్స్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత కోర్ జావాలో ఉన్న డౌట్స్ ఒకసారి మనం డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే. ఇట్లా కంపారబుల్, కంపరేటర్ ఇంటర్ఫేసెస్ వీటికి జస్ట్ కంపారిజన్ చేయడానికే బట్ స్లైట్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. సో, వి విల్ సీ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఆన్ దీస్ డౌట్స్. యూ జస్ట్ మేక్ ఎ నోట్ అండ్ కీప్ ఇట్. Once we have started this advanced Java sessions, after few days, maybe in the next week, one day we will discuss on annotations as well as the doubt session. Okay, if anything is missing, we'll discuss on that day. Okay. That's not good. Think no one new one were there, no? All are our students. Okay, so online students, today we are going to start advanced Java topics and anything related to core Java concepts dots we'll see in next week one day revision session on the core concepts of Java. Okay, so today we are going to see in advanced Java. So as we discussed during the demo session and all, we have categorized the Java into three modules. Okay, so that is core Java, and you we have said like advanced Java and frameworks. These are the things we have discussed. So now we have completed with core Java concepts, like all the oops concepts and what are the features of Java. And we have discussed the important topics of multi-threading, exception handling, collection framework. Like this, we have learned about different concepts in Java. Now we are going to learn advanced Java topics. So what does this contain? So basically, we have divided the Java into three modules, but actually, the Java was categorized into three types. Like, what are they? Does anyone know? In beginning demo sessions, I would have told you. Java is basically divided in Java SE, Standard Edition, Enterprise Edition, and then Mobile or Micro Edition. We would have discussed in the beginning of the, just in the demo session, I would have told once, like it is actually divided by the Java people, be according to our convenience, divided into core, advanced, and frameworks. Now using this advanced Java, we are going to develop the enterprise applications. So, what are these enterprise applications or any kind of web applications that we are going to develop by learning this advanced Java? See, now any web application means what? See, Notepad is there. Notepad is installed on our computer. Do you require internet to work with Notepad? It's not required. But to work with a Facebook or Amazon or any Gmail or Yahoo Mail, anything, do you require internet or not? Without internet, will it run? Even though you install that app or anything, it won't work without internet. So web applications are something which are not actually installed on our computer, we are just using it. They are installed on their own server which is continuously running. We are just using that application in our computer, we require internet on it. Such applications are called what? Web applications. Now through by learning these advanced concepts, we will be able to develop what? Such web applications. Understood? By learning these advanced concepts, we will be able to develop such web applications. Understood? So for developing web applications and all, first thing you will be need to know the front end part through UI. That HTML, CSS, JavaScript and all. That is only for what? Front view, validation and all. Along with that, we need database and then backend. Yes or no? So we need like a further development of complete any enterprise or web application. We need to learn all these things: UI, database, and then what? Backend technology. So UI means, as I said, HTML. You know how to develop. Some people have already completed UI, so they know how to develop the front pages with different tabs, buttons, everything. You can develop what? One front view. And using database, I think most of them completed database, at least SQL, I guess. So now in SQL, what we learned? How to store the data, how to retrieve data, insertion, deletions. Did you complete or not? That means you are storing the data. If you are developing any web application like Facebook, you enter the login ID and password and click the submit button. Your Facebook page only is opening. Yes or no? How it is opening? Your credentials are saved somewhere with the username and password. Then it is exactly, if it is matching, you are getting back your own page. Yes or no? So that means your data has to be saved in some location permanently. For that storage purpose, we are learning what? Database. So now if there are few people, 10 to 20 people, yes, I can maintain in a book or a laptop. But if the lakhs and lakhs of people are using the application, means is it possible for a store in any book or any file? It's not, right? We need some database which stores huge amount of information. So for that purpose we are using the database connection, that is Oracle or MySQL or Postgre or whatever database you want, you can be using for storing the database. Okay, so by learning this front end database, and in the back end you can use the option of Java, Python, or whatever it is, you are connecting, developing a real time web or enterprise application. Correct? So in this part we learn database. Now we are learning the backend advanced concepts. In this advanced Java, first you are going to learn JDBC. What is that? JDBC. So any questions, online students, please let me know if you're having any questions. So now first we are going to learn what? Advanced Java. Using this advanced Java, we will learn how to develop the connectivity from our Java application to the database. You are developing from the front end one application, no? From that also we will fetch the information and we are connecting to the database. Till now, from front end you might have learned just entering the data, username, password or something, and you are just viewing the data, validating that data, but you did not fetch the data and check whether it is matching in the database or not. Yes or no? No. So first, using JDBC we will know how to connect from our application to database. From our application to what? Database. Got it? Using JDBC you will be learning now how to connect from our application to the database and store the data, retrieve the data, whatever queries you have created for creating table, inserting data table, selecting information, or updating or deleting. These all we will be doing through our web, through our Java application, from our what? Java application. Got it? Understood? Yes. Okay. So these all things we will be doing from our Java application. Now, when we run our Java program, whatever code you wrote in the SQL query, that we will embed in our Java program. So we will write the code to connect to the database. So when you run your Java application, it will connect to the database that is available in your computer, and it will store and it will retrieve the data. Whatever query you learned in SQL, those all queries can be implemented from Java application. Those all can be implemented from what? Java application. So now this JDBC helps us for connectivity. Helps us for what? Connectivity. See, now suppose you want to come from your home or hostel to our class. How you will come? Either you choose the transport by walking or bus or car or whatever it is. That is your way of transport to come now. Without that transport you cannot come. Either walking is the one way you have to come. So like that, now the JDBC will act as a bridge for us from connecting from our application to the database, whatever database you learned. Okay, and after JDBC, you will be learning in advanced Java servlets and then JSP. What is that? JSP. JDBC, servlets, and JSP. So JDBC is for just connection to the database. But as I said, from the front end page, whatever you have developed, you need to fetch the data, no? And that data you need to give it to the or store it to the database. For that purpose, you need one server side application. What we need? Server side application or server side coding, that we will be doing through the servlets and JSP. So JDBC is for connectivity, Java database connectivity. After that, we learn through servlets and JSP. Like servlets is like a server side technology. What is that? Server side. Our application has to be run with the server, right? Yes or no? We need a server. As I said, Facebook application you installed, you're using means it is running somewhere on server. You're using that. In the same way, now if you are developing any application, your application needs a local server. For our practice purpose, we use some local server installed on your computer and run. In real time, maybe IBM or Facebook, they have their own servers because they need a very huge capacity of server to run it, otherwise it has to maintain crores of people throughout the world, right? So they need a very good server, which should be, if any application of Facebook stops for a fraction of second also, they get huge loss. Sometimes we'll see, right, in news and all, some application got crashed or server was not working for few seconds, the shares got collapsed or they have reduced and all. So the server should be very efficient, running 24 by 7. So we cannot get that server, so we will install local server in our machine and we will be practicing these applications. Got it? So through JDBC we'll connect, through servlets and JSP we will establish, we will prepare one front end application also and get the data and run with the server also. Okay, this is what we are going to do, learn in what? Advanced Java. Clear? After this we will learn frameworks, which are nothing. Frameworks is not a specially one kind of language like Java or advanced Java. Framework is like open source where you are adding some additional feature to your Java coding, so that you can write less code and improvise your application. That's it. So you have a mobile phone, they will add every time one new feature, no? They will say some new version came, update your mobile and all. Like that, frameworks gives us some additional functionality so that our coding will reduce and we can run our application more efficiently and performance also will be good. So that we will be learning in what? Frameworks. So our Spring framework, that what you are going to learn there, they will just provide some special features where the coding of JDBC servlets and JSP are minimalized. You can do it very better. So you may get a doubt, when framework is there, it is simplifying our code, why to learn this advanced Java? We can directly learn framework. Yes, you can directly learn framework, there is no problem, but whatever the framework you are learning internally, it is using all these things. So without this knowledge, it is difficult to understand that and analyze the code if there is any bug. So that is the reason it is important to learn advanced Java also, like servlets, JSP, and JDBC also. Clear, everyone? Online students, is it clear, everyone? So anyone, I think Durgesh, you have joined just now. Can you hear me? Durgesh, can you hear me? Can you please reply? I'm not able to hear your voice. I think he is reconnecting. Someone please just reply. Anyone, Sarita, can you unmute and talk once? Anyone, Shamini, Kranti, Venkana, can any one of you unmute and speak once?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So I thought, is there any issue from my side? I couldn't hear your voice, that's why.
No issue, ma'am.
Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay, so, okay, you can unmute it. Okay. So you have joined just now. Is it clear? If you have any, you can message in the chat box also, or unmute and tell. Anything is fine.
Yes, ma'am. I know the basics. I understand, ma'am.
Okay, good. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what about the advanced Java concepts, like what you are going to learn in complete advanced and the frameworks. Frameworks we'll see in detail later once we complete the advanced level of Java. So now first we are going to start with JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. Okay, so as I said, this will act as a bridge to connect from our application to the database. So how it is going to connect? It needs some special, see, for working with Java program, we installed what to execute a Java programs and all. See, for a HTML and CSS and JavaScript, we don't require any additional packages or anything to download and keep it in the system so that your applications will run. There is nothing like that, no. Additionally, we used Visual Studio for our comfortable, like to practice and we get suggestions, and also we used that. But do we require anything? No. By default, the browser has the capability to run your application. We don't need any additional software actually till React JS and all. But when you're talking about Java, we need any backend technology, we need some libraries to execute our code. So for Java, we have installed what? JDK, any latest version we have installed, correct? In the same way, for executing the JDBC, I said you need to, this JDBC will help us to connect, right? For this, we need to download the jar files for our connectivity. So here the JDK alone is not sufficient for connecting to the database. We need additionally some classes and interfaces. So JDK is providing us Java API. So application program interface where it is having different classes and interfaces. Like we have so many interfaces, no, in collection framework, and you have util package, lang, which is a default package. Like that we have so many packages came. But in the same way, for executing the JDBC queries, we also require JDBC API. JDBC API. How we are going to get this API? This API is containing all the classes and interfaces. All the classes and what? Interfaces for Java connectivity. So these are available with the OJDBC jar file. What is that? OJDBC jar file. So we have to download this. We have to download. ఓకే. సో హౌ మీరు ఎలా అయితే జేడీకే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకున్నారో అట్లా మీరు ఓజేడీబీసీ జార్ ఫైల్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. నేను ప్రాసెస్ అంతా చూపిస్తాను. సో మీరు డౌన్లోడ్ చేసి యూ హ్యావ్ టు కాపీ ఇంటూ యువర్ Java folder where you are working with your application. So then only you are able to work with the JDBC connectivity. Without that, it is not possible. Okay, what does this jar file is containing? Whatever the classes and interfaces that are required for your database connectivity are available with what? Jar files. So you have to, and when you're downloading this jar file, you will have different versions. Suppose if you are typing here in the Google, I'm just showing like OJDBC jar file download. So for this, it depends upon what Oracle database you have. If you are using Oracle database, download Oracle OJDBC. If you are using MySQL, suppose your application or your computer, if you have installed MySQL, then you have to download MySQL connector.jar. Okay, if anyone, I think everyone are using Oracle only. If anyone is having MySQL, please let me know. I'll tell that also. Same, the connect jar file is little different. Apart from that, coding, everything is same. Only that when you are downloading jar file and that name will be different. That's it. So now you have to download the jar file that is required for you. So it depends upon what Java version you are using also. So then based upon that you can download the JDBC OJDBC jar file which is required. So you can see here when I typed, you go to the Oracle site only. Okay, so JDK, as I said, Java is now with Oracle organization. First of all, it is with Sun Microsystems, then now it is with Oracle, right? So now you can see OJDBC 17, 11, with what and all Java versions it is compatible. You can download that jar file. Understood? So you can download it and you can use it. So first for today you just download it and keep it. In next sessions I will tell how to configure. When we write the program I will tell how to use it. Okay, so this is mainly providing us the package of java.sql. What is that? Java.sql. This contains all the packages and classes for our JDBC connectivity. మన ఎస్క్యూఎల్ క్వరీసే కదా రాసాం, క్రియేట్, ఇన్సర్ట్, డిలీట్. ఇప్పుడు డేటాబేస్ కనెక్టివిటీ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇవన్నీ మనం జావా ప్రోగ్రాంలో రాస్తే డేటాబేస్లో కనెక్ట్ అయ్యి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి. అంటే మనకు ఆ క్వరీస్ యాక్సెసిబిలిటీ రావాలి, క్వరీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తే వర్క్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఎస్క్యూఎల్ క్వరీస్ అవైలబుల్గా ఉండాలి. సో ఫర్ దట్ పర్పస్ వీఆర్ using this jar file. So when you download it, then you can use everything from java.sql, whatever that are required for our connectivity. Clear everyone? So that is what you have to use it. I will just show some documentation also for you. So how it is present. So this I will share with you from where you have to download it. You can download according to that. So every day as I will share this notes, right? From that I will share. So you have to download it. So we are going to write our Java program and it is connecting to the JDBC API from which we downloaded the jar file, and it will connect to what? Database. This is any database. Oracle, MySQL, Postgre, whatever you are using, this is a database. So we require the JDBC API to connect to the database. To connect to the database. So how we are going to connect? There are few steps that you have to follow. So we will discuss one by one. Steps to connect to database. So what are the steps that you have to follow? So first you will be writing your Java program. No, in that what we are going to use it? We require a driver to connect to the database. What we require? We require a driver. As I said, you will use some transport to come here, right? In the same way, we require a driver to connect from our application to the database. Now in market there are thousands of drivers are available, but based on functionality, the drivers are categorized into four types. How many types? Four types. Got it? There are many drivers, but we have mainly categorized into how many types? Four types. So any one of the type driver we can choose and we can use it. So all those drivers are available for us with the package. Okay, so but there are some limitations for each and every driver, and among all only one driver is best suitable. Okay, we will also discuss that. So type 1 driver, we call it as first driver or type 1 driver. So what is this driver name? Means sun dot jdbc dot odbc bridge driver. What is that? Sun dot jdbc odbc bridge driver. So this is the driver name. Okay, so overall first type of driver, this is one type of sample name of the driver. Okay, using this driver we can connect. This will help us to connect to the database in our program. Okay, so fine, but there is some disadvantage with this driver, because additionally along with OJDBC jar file, it is not completely Java oriented. It is not purely Java oriented. It is not purely Java oriented. It is using ODBC. ODBC means Object Database Connectivity. It is not completely JDBC. We need to additionally download OJDBC driver again. ఓకే. మీరు ఫస్ట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డ్రైవర్ యూజ్ చేయాలంటే మనకి సిస్టమ్‌లో మళ్ళీ ఓజేడీబీసీ డ్రైవర్‌ని డౌన్‌లోడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. అవైలబుల్‌గా ఉండాలి. అడిషనల్‌గా ఇంకొక డ్రైవర్. ఇట్‌సెల్ఫ్ ఓన్డ్ sun.jdbc డైరెక్ట్‌లీ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ వాంట్స్ టు వర్క్ యూ నీడ్ టు అడిషనల్లీ డౌన్లోడ్ వాట్? ఓజేడీబీసీ డ్రైవర్ విచ్ ఈస్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్. అగైన్ it is a limitation, right? So nowadays no one is using type 1 driver at all. For practice purpose, previously we have the driver. As soon as you purchase any laptop and configure it, they used to get this ODBC driver by default. But nowadays they are not using type 1 driver. But there is a question like what are the types of drivers and all. So just we are discussing on that. Okay. So why we are not using type 1 driver? Because we need additionally another driver to be installed on your PC, which is complicated because you developed application using type 1 driver. You gave to a client who wanted to use this application. Again he has to download this driver. No, he can't readily use it. He need additionally driver. If he is not having that ODBC driver, he cannot use it. Java intention is what? It is platform independent. It has to run on any operating system. Same. If it has such limitation, it is not platform independent. No. So that is the reason type 1 driver is not suggestible. Type 1 driver is not suggestible to use. ఓకే. మీరు ఒక కొత్త కాన్సెప్ట్ నేర్చుకుంటున్నారు కాబట్టి కోర్ జావా నుంచి కొంచెం థియరీ ఉంటుంది, బేసిక్స్. ఎందుకంటే డైరెక్ట్ కోడింగ్లోకి వెళ్ళాను అనుకోండి, ఆ టర్మ్స్ అన్నీ మీకు అర్థం కావు, అసలు ఎందుకు రాస్తున్నాం ఏంటి అని. ఓకే, 1 డే ఆర్ 2 days మీకు కొంచెం థియరీ ఉంటుంది నేర్చుకోవాల్సింది. సో ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ యూ విల్ అగైన్ గో ఇన్ టు కోడింగ్ లైక్ కోర్ జావా. ఓకే. So the next type of driver, okay, so the next type of driver is native protocol driver. So whenever you see this native, that means it is also not pure Java driver. It is using native code, means non-Java code. Native, whenever you are saying, it is not purely Java. So this is also not, when it is not purely Java code, it is not purely platform independent. So when it is not platform independent, it is not suggestible to use any type of driver. Okay, so second type of driver also we will not use much. And type 3 driver, in the type 3 driver, it is called network protocol driver, or here we will be using some middleware software. So here we are using some middleware server. So this is actually good. Only the limitation of it is like you have to use again middleware server. It's not like completely native code or something. We can use this driver. But when you are comparing with all the types of driver, this third type of driver is costly to maintain, to purchase or something for any companies. And another limitation is for this also we need additionally the middleware server. If the client is not affording this middleware server, again we have a problem of using this. Okay, so that is the limitation with type 3. And again type 4 driver, this is called thin driver, or it is a pure Java driver we tell. So among all the 4 types of drivers, we will use which driver? Thin driver. If you want, we can use any type. But mostly nowadays in company also we are using what? Type 4 driver. Now since we are using Oracle, we are using like Oracle driver, thin driver for our programming. Got it? So using any one of the driver, we will establish the connection to the database. Clear everyone? Online students, do you have any question? Shamini, Sarita, Venkanna, Krant, anyone? Do you have any questions? So this is just a sample picture of type 1 driver. So here you are writing one Java application. So this we are using what? Type 1. If you are using type 1, JDBC, ODBC what? Bridge driver. So it is not directly connecting through the API to the database. Additionally, we have to install what? ODBC driver. And since we are installing additional, this is not pure Java. We are passing the native calls. Native means not pure. It is the old code, which is not purely Java, which is a previous version's code. So because of that reason, we can choose any server, Oracle database, SQL, or MySQL, any database that you are server you are using. We are connecting to the databases. Here also there is a problem. As I said, since you are using ODBC driver, you have to make the vendor database library and vendor specific calls. He has to additionally install this and then connect to the specific database. Because of this, type 1 driver is not suggestible to use. And this is like a type 2 driver. Here also we are using native API driver. As I said, what type 2 driver is? What? Native API driver. So this is also using the native database calls. What is that? Native database calls. That means it's not purely Java. Type 3 driver. So it is better than type 1 and type 2. But we need some middleware server to be included. If the client is not ready to use this middleware application server, it is not suggestible to use. He cannot. And also, it is costly when you are comparing with other drivers. And this is the type 4 driver that we have. So here also we will be using some calls of native, but not completely. It is not native code. So because of that, we have a direct JDBC connection. So we will connect to the database. We will connect to what? Database. So among all the four types of drivers, we will be using mostly which type of driver? Type 4 driver. Understood? So just I wanted to explain about these drivers. Clear everyone? But when compared, it is type 1 driver, it is fast, and it can connect to any database, but it is not portable. That is the very problem that we have. And native API driver, yes, it has to have the client side library, and it is not thread safe. Okay, it is on dependent on the platform. So we are learning Java because it is independent. So there is no meaning in using any driver which is dependent on OS. But sometimes you are, if you are developing an application only for a single platform or a single client, where they use a single platform for all their company, then you can choose it, no problem. And third, network protocol driver, as I said, it contains the middleware server. As I said, this is what? Costly. Since it is using middleware server, it is having the slow calls. The network connection will be slow. And the third one, it is a pure Java driver. What? It is a thin driver, and it is what? Pure Java driver. Got it? Understood? So these are the four types of drivers we have. Okay. Online students, is it clear? Okay. Shravan, Vijay, Durgesh. In whatever I have explained, I have given the brief note also. You can just go through the document so that you can go through the point. Always follow the document once. ఒకసారి ఎందుకంటే you may miss some points, you may not remember, no, always, so that you can just go through the points and then recollect it. Okay, so I'll be back in just 1 minute. Online students and offline, just go through this documentation once. I'll be back in 1 minute. You can take down the type 4 driver, just the picture of the type 4 driver, you can just note down. Okay, so thanks for waiting. So these are the steps that we have to, these are the four types of drivers that we are using for our database connection. Okay, so now using this driver, we will be establishing the connection to the database. So let us see those steps, how we are going to connect. Okay, the first one is you have to establish connection. ఓకే సో నేనేం చెప్పాను డ్రైవర్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటున్నాం కదా సో డ్రైవర్ హ్యాస్ టు బి రిజిస్టర్డ్ సో ఫస్ట్ టు జాయిన్ ఇన్ ఎనీ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు గో ఫర్ ఏ మూవీ ఆల్సో వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ యూ హ్యావ్ టు బుక్ ద టికెట్ or if you want if a movie is releasing soon they will provide you pre booking you have to register for it no for anything. So in the same way when you want to establish database connection the driver has to be first what registered. Driver has to be first what registered. So for that registration that we are going to do with class dot for name, and here you will provide the driver. What you will be providing? Driver. So whatever driver you are using that driver name you will be providing here. Type 1 driver is sun.jdbc native protocol, like that we have seen no, like that whatever driver name I will tell once we do programming, that driver name you have to be registering, or you can tell you will have to load it and register it. Okay, or you can say you have to load the driver. Load the what? Driver, whatever driver you are using. So for that all these steps have to work means what is the package you have to import? Java.sql.star. If this has to work you have to configure OJDBC jar file. OJDBC what? Jar file. Then only this all will work, otherwise it won't work. Then you have to establish the connection. This connection interface is present in this SQL package. Which package? SQL package. So you have to create one object. Okay. So connection CON ABC, your wish. Object name is your wish. But this should be what? Connection. So connection CON is equal to, you will be using one more driver manager. This is all whatever I am using here, new classes and interfaces, those are present in this package. Driver manager dot get connection. These are the predefined methods that are available. Driver manager dot get connection, and here you will be providing URL, username, and then password. What you will provide? URL, username, and password. See, what is this URL? Uniform Resource Locator. See, now if you want to go to some any other location, if you are booking any cab or something, they will ask your location, right? In Google Map or something, you will put your address. That is the URL of anything. In if you want to open Facebook or Amazon, there will be the URL of it, right? The path where it is located. Now if you are registering and using the driver, you have to tell the URL of your driver, the path of your driver, where you have installed your driver, the path, the URL has to be specified. And then next, it has to connect database. Means what? For if you want to log into Facebook, you can directly log in. No, you will enter your username, your password, yes or no? Now when you write our Java program and click run, it has to connect to database. Means it needs the database username and పాస్వర్డ్, అవునా కాదా? మనం డేటాబేస్ ఒరాకిల్ ఓపెన్ చేసినప్పుడు పాస్వర్డ్, యూజర్ నేమ్, పాస్వర్డ్ అడిగిందా లేదా? ఆ పాస్వర్డ్ యూజర్ నేమ్ ఇవ్వకుండా మనం కనెక్ట్ చేయలేం మన జావా అప్లికేషన్ నుంచి. సో దిస్ కనెక్షన్ విల్ రిక్వైర్స్ వాట్? యూజర్ నేమ్ అండ్ password. Username and password. So with this we will be connecting to the database. Clear everyone? Online students, can you follow? Any question so far? Okay. Durgesh, are you able to follow? Shravan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now with this we are going to establish what? Database. Now we connected. After establishing the connection, what we have to do? Why we are establishing connection? Why we are establishing connection? Tell me. To టు క్రియేట్ క్వరీస్. నో, క్వరీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలి. మనం కనెక్ట్ చేసేది ఎందుకు డేటాబేస్కి? మన క్వరీస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయడానికి. టేబుల్స్, డేటాబేస్లో టేబుల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి కానీ, క్రియేట్ చేసిన టేబుల్ నుంచి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఫెచ్ చేయడానికి కానీ వీఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్, ఎస్టాబ్లిషింగ్ ద కనెక్షన్, రైట్? సో ఆఫ్టర్ దిస్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు క్రియేట్ వాట్? స్టేట్మెంట్. Statements are something like queries that you have to create. In when you are creating the statement, again there are three ways of creating. How many ways are there? Three ways of creating. One is simple statement. The first one, that you can create a statement in through statement interface. And the second one is like a prepared statement. And the third one is like callable statement. Okay, statement, prepared statement, and then what? Callable statement. So statement is used for generally for any query like creating and all these things, but prepared statement is used for pre-compiled SQL queries. Pre-compiled what? SQL queries. So what are these pre-compiled SQL queries? Normal queries means what? Insert into table name values, you will provide directly the values. That's a general statement. Pre-compiled means you can compile it, or the query is already compiled, you are using it just. How you will provide means insert into. I know that everyone have completed SQL, no? Insert into table name values. You will provide here the column names. What you will provide? Column name. Suppose column name is ID, comma name, comma some address or anything. In the place of values, you will be providing question mark. What is that? Question mark. You are not directly providing. This is a pre-compiled query. Means it is compiled without values. We will provide values during execution. One way is you will directly enter from console. Another way is you are developing real time application now. మీరు ఫేస్బుక్ అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలనుకోండి, ఫస్ట్ ఏమడుగుతుంది, మీ నేమ్, అడ్రస్, ఫుల్ డీటెయిల్స్ ఫిల్ చేశాకే కదా మీకు లాగిన్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. ఆ ఫిల్ చేసినప్పుడు మీ డేటా అంతా స్టోర్ అవ్వాలా లేదా? సో మీరు క్లిక్ చేసి అన్ని కాలమ్స్ ఫిల్ చేసి సబ్మిట్ అనే బటన్ కొట్టినప్పుడు మీరు ఎంటర్ చేసిన వాల్యూస్ అన్నీ కూడా ఇన్సర్ట్ క్వరీ రన్ అవుతుంది. అక్కడ ఏం రన్ అవుద్ది? ఇన్సర్ట్. అంటే మీ ఫేస్బుక్ మీద ఒక డీటెయిల్ స్టోర్ చేయడానికి ఒక టేబుల్ ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఉంచుతారు. మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే సబ్మిట్ బటన్ కొట్టారో అప్పుడు ఈ అప్లికేషన్ రన్ అయ్యి ఇన్సర్ట్ క్వరీలో వాల్యూస్, అంటే ఎప్పుడు ఒకటే వాల్యూస్ ఉండవు కదా, ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళకి ఒక్కొక్క వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది. అందుకని మనం డైరెక్ట్గా వాల్యూస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేయం. ఆ టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్లో ఇచ్చిన డేటా ఈ క్వశ్చన్ మార్క్లో ప్లేస్ అయ్యి ఇన్సర్ట్ అవుద్ది అనమాట. దానికి ఒక ప్రొసీజర్ ఉంది, వీ విల్ సీ దట్. సో సచ్ క్వరీస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ వాట్? ప్రీ-కంపైల్డ్ SQL queries. So using prepared statement we can execute such queries. Using just statement we cannot do this. Okay, and select, insert, delete all, we can use it through statement and all. And finally we have what? Callable statement. So we use this callable statement for executing procedures and functions in the PLSQL. Okay, so those who are just done with SQL, those are still learning PLSQL here, they will know little later. So there are some functions like in Java how we have function, in the same way we will be having functions in PLSQL. So to call that function and procedure we will be using what? Callable statement. Clear? Okay, so like this we will be using. Okay, so any questions so far you can ask, and remaining things we will continue in the next session. Okay, once again I will repeat the statement, prepare statement, and how we are registering the driver. Okay, so I will share the document also, you can go through that. If you have any doubts regarding drivers or anything, I will repeat once again and then go to it. So in the next session, we will see about these all statements, and if possible, I will show one example also. Okay, how to connect to the database. Clear everyone? Online students, everyone, SQL has been completed. No, Sarita, Venkanna, Kranti, Vijay, Shravan. ఓకే, దుర్గేష్ మీకు ఐడియా ఉందా అండి ఎస్క్యూఎల్?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, ఆరికల్లో ఐడియా ఉంది మేడం.
ఒరాకిల్ ఐడియా ఉంది కదా, ఓకే. సో అందుకే ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ఐడియా లేకపోతే కొంచెం కష్టం అవుతుంది కదా, అందుకని అడుగు.
ఓకే
ఓకే, సో ఓకే, అర్థమైందండి? ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా?
అర్థమైందండి.
ఓకే ఓకే దెన్. సో రేపు సెషన్ దుర్గేష్ మీరు కూడా 3:45కి జాయిన్ అవటం కుదురుతుందా మీకు?
నేను ఆఫ్లైన్ వచ్చేస్తాను మేడం రేపు.
ఆఫ్లైన్ వస్తారు? ఓకే, ఆఫ్లైన్ వస్తే 3:45 కల్లా రండి.
ఓకే మేడం. ఓకే
ఓకే, యా, ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. So tomorrow everyone 3:45 we will be starting. Okay.